Hi, welcome to the channel. Today we're doing a reading on what door is closing, what door is opening, and why that is. Sip of coffee and then we'll get into it. Good old coffee. All right. Why one door is opening, why one door is closing, and why that is happening. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. This is the last reading of 4 for the month for this. Ooh, whole story jumped out there. Ooh, how pretty is that? Story for this deck. This is the last reading of the month for this deck because I do 4 readings a month, all the same deck with different genres. And if you have a genre you would like to see, like a 3-card type of reading you'd really like to see, please let me know. I'll try to cut it in as best I can. I kind of try to schedule the types of readings around types of cards. These are more like on a different 5D. So we did like Universe Message. I can't remember what the first reading was called. The second was... The first reading with this lovely deck was... View Your Path, Your Potential. And then what to focus on, what to release, a message from the universe. The third reading was Voice of Intuition, Voice of Logic, and how to harmonize them. And this is door opening, door closing, and why that is. All right, let's jump into it. Door opening. Door opening. He's come out so much in these readings. Luminous Warrior. Door closing. 1 card, please. Door closing. Door closing. 1 card, please. Maybe there's no doors closing. Doors closing. 1 card. 1 card. There's 2. Everyone see them? I asked for 1, so those are pretty, whatever those were. Door closing. There we go. Ancient Ones. And why that is, or what you need to know about it in the middle, please. 1 card. Let's do why that is. I think I confused it with so many things. Nope, just 1. Vision Quest. I've never seen Vision Quest before. We're just asking for 1. 1 for why 1 door is opening and why 1 door is closing. Why? Bam. Ooh, it's redirecting you somewhere. That I got. Oops, I didn't sum it down. All right, so we have what is opening, what is closing, and why that is. The arrow is going somewhere else. Taking you somewhere else. All right. Luminous Warrior. We'll start with that one. And for these, I read the books just because the book has so much message in it. And then I kind of translate based off what I get from it and what I'm seeing in the cards. So let's start with Luminous Warrior. The Luminous Warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. He is impeccable in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than on what hides in the dark. Since he casts no shadows, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. Are you tempted by your emotions to follow your lower instincts? Are you being invited to enter into a quarrel with someone? Put your sword away. This is not the time for battle. Your enemy is not who you think it is. Do not act from a place of anger that will damage your relationship and hurt the ones you care for. Find the truth hiding in your heart that will affirm your instincts for peace rather than war. Okay. So it makes me think like some kind of imbalance, right? The door that's opening is one where you almost like, I think, choose the higher road, kind of. The enemy that you think you're battling is not the enemy you think you're battling. Luminous Warrior kind of speaks to, this card came up a lot this week, so I've read this card a couple times. It speaks to like knowing how to right way up, right? Like you just have this nature of making your enemy your friend. You understand that like when people, sometimes, all the time, but like when people pop off on you, it's not you majority of the time. Go back in there. it's something going on with them that they didn't handle or process, right? And so this kind of makes me think that maybe there's a situation where you think it is being directed at you and X thing is the problem. Like, let's say, I'm trying to think of an example. In one of these readings, I gave an example for this card of like, when I used to work in retail, people used to just blow up on me sometimes for like a shirt being $1 more, right? Or like, how come this item's not on sale? And that's not really a big enough reason to lose your mind, right? Lose your shit. It's not, it's like, it is what it is. The shirt is that. You can buy it at full price, or you cannot, right? You can pay the extra dollar, or you cannot. Like, you know, it's not an end of the world blow up moment. Like, move on. But people tend to blow up. And in retail, you kind of learn people blow up on you because they haven't processed something else. You're just in there trying to do your job and get your money and go about your life and pay your rent, right? And they're coming in there and blowing up on you for things they haven't processed outside. I'm not saying that there aren't times where in that moment the person is the problem. There are those times too. But a lot of times people tend to explode on you because they're holding on to things they haven't dealt with, and it happens to just come out at you. And so in this sense, I kind of think that maybe there's something that you think is the problem, but there's actually a different route to the problem, and understanding that might change how you approach this. And that's the door it's opening for you, like kind of seeing a different perspective of the situation. All right, clarifiers for Luminous Warrior, please. Oh, empowerment and abundance. Okay. Luminous Warrior, please. Not yet. Not time for that yet. Okay. It's 4. Okay. So yeah, this makes me think that there's the possibility to either build harmony in this, the door it's opening is a possibility to build harmony in this situation, whatever it may be, rather than talk about using lower instincts. I don't agree with calling them that, but like instead of just like blowing up or exploding or yelling or screaming, right? Like there is a different solution to this opening. And maybe it's one of like allowing you to understand where they are so you can approach the situation differently. And I'm trying to think of an example of this. And I can't grasp one. Okay, let's say like, there's somebody who acts like erratic, right? Like you don't enjoy being around them. They're just a lot of energy. They demand a lot of attention. They're loud, kind of obnoxious, doing the most. And you're kind of like, your energy's a lot. Like I don't need. And maybe you guys get into a discussion about it, you know, and you guys are clashing off each other. And maybe you're being like, I just can't with you because you're too much. And they're like, I need it, right? And you only see that person for what's being presented right now. Maybe one day you're sitting down somehow with this person and you hear them talking about like all the stuff going on in their life, right? They just have all this stuff going on, and you're sitting there listening and you're kind of like, okay, I can see some roots into why they behave the way they do. Not saying the way they behave is acceptable or that you have to accept it. Just that like as you're listening to the story, talking about like their, you know, day-to-day life and their relationship and family things have gone on, and you're kind of like, okay, I can see why you are the way you are and why that's being projected out because of all this background stuff that I would never know unless I knew you, right? Or we actually had conversation, which we don't because you kind of ping off each other. And maybe that makes you change the way you react to this person. Maybe instead of being combative when they're in your energy, you're more calm because you know there's a story behind why this is how they act, right? I hope that makes sense. And for you, that's also empowering. Like we have to understand that everybody has a little backpack of crap on their back they've carried with them. And as we've gotten older and older, that backpack, some things fall out and some things get added. And nobody ever sees this little backpack of crap that we have, right? It's just with us. And sometimes we share about it and sometimes we don't, right? But we all have one, every single person. And it really takes getting to know each person that you come across to understand if they'll share with you what might even be in that backpack. We'll never know the extent of what's in there, right? If they want to share pieces about you that kind of explain who they are and how they became who they were through that backpack. But if you have no concept into that, and you only know this person at face value, you'll never know. And so understanding that and how you approach either this situation or dynamic or person or whatever, like larger picture view, right? What else could be going on in their life, right? Is this actually directed at me, or is this just something that they have in their backpack that's causing them to be this way, right? And is there a way for me to address this in a way that is empowering for me without it being like aggression or reaction or right of that nature? So the door that's opening is a door of you looking at situations and dynamics and people and encounter all this stuff in a different lens of like, what could be in their backpack that could make them be acting this way, right? Or is this reaction I'm receiving because of me? And sometimes it might be, right? Or is it because of them holding on to that's being released onto me, right? Which is also the case more often than not. And how can I approach this in a way that is empowering for me and doesn't cause me to have an enemy, but also doesn't disempower me? It allows me to address the situation in a way that's empowering for me, but also respecting the fact that I don't understand a day in their life, never walked in their shoes, never seen what's in their backpack, and will probably never know, right? Different perspective. Yeah, that's what I'm getting from this. Okay, let's go on to the arrow. Oh no, the door that's closing. You guys see these? I'll move a little bit. Scooch over Luminous Warrior. There we go. Okay, the door that's closing is the Ancient Ones, which is, oh, the first one. The Ancient Ones. The Ancient Ones are shamans of old who defeated death and escaped from the tyranny of time. The Ancient Ones once walked the earth like us in flesh and bone. Now they reside in infinity and can counsel us after we say yes to our calling. They are available to us. They are available to help us attain our full realization. The Ancient Ones beseech you to examine your attitudes and actions and be sure that they are of the highest integrity. Not forgiving an ancestor or yourself is keeping you from freedom you seek. Remember, this is no longer your karma. You can break the chains that once bound you to the family drama and be free of your generational curses. Forgive the ones you need to release. Honor your biological ancestors by lighting a candle to them tonight. Okay, it's interesting because this one was talking about finding new ways to approach a situation. And this one is talking about forgiveness. Like, instead of being in anger of something, allowing forgiveness, which one of the reasons is tied to this door it's opening, and like being in a state of like anger, or I can't remember what it said now, I'm blinking, but like blame, right? Blame and anger on something versus trying to find the different lens to view what this could be occurring from and approaching it in a way that's empowering to you. So this makes me think of like the door is closing is reacting in like anger, or it's your fault, blaming, and shifting that. Ancient Ones, please. I don't know if this one fell out. I'm gonna put it this way. Anything else for Ancient Ones? That didn't quite fall. Ancient Ones. Oh no, that was a whole book. I'm not gonna do all those. One or two more cards, and then we're gonna call it this one. Ancient Ones. Oh my goodness. No, no, no. Is there one more in there? Just one more? This one just gets 3. I'm trying to tell a whole story, and that's not what we're doing today. We got a whole story here already. Okay, so we got the 4 of Bows, the Pole Star, and the 7 of Vessels. So this makes me think like the door that's closing is those anger, blaming, right? That energy of whatever this situation is can be exhausting. And so it's kind of like closing the door on that and moving in an energy that is more empowered for you. Door opening is an empowered perspective on how you approach situations, communications, dynamics, right? And this one is like letting go of the anger, blame, all that tends to kind of like exhaust and burn out, because I feel like you want a more balanced, peaceful, like dynamic in the situation, or maybe you just want peace from it, right? Like just no longer engaging in it. And if there's constantly like strife and argument and all of this, it doesn't allow you to have that. I will say it's not what I expected from door opening, door closing, but this is interesting. Because I feel like from what I'm seeing here, you're naturally a pretty upbeat, positive person. And I feel like those energies of like anger and like frustration and, you know, blame and all of that tend to kind of deplete you. And you want to have connections around you that are joyous and full of life, right? And not ones that bring you down, but ones that bring you up. And so the door that's closing is, I guess, I don't want to say playing those games, but like letting yourself get sucked into those kind of reactive to those situations that occur, that person, those people, or whatever, because it takes away your power. And doors opening is you standing in your power and analyzing it as, does this actually deserve my time and attention, right? Because all that energy you're feeding when you're angry and you're fighting, that's energy. It's you're feeding it, and it's taking away energy from you. So if it's worth it, it's worth it. But if it's not, right? Like if you really don't care about the person, you don't really care about them. You understand the concept now of how they are, but you're still like, you're not worth the energy that you're taking from me. Then just move in that energy, right? Don't get fired up. Like they don't have any right to that energy of yours. I'm just going to step back. So yeah, this is closing the allowance of things to sucker in, pull you in, to feed your energy into things that you really don't want your energy fed into. And this is learning how to see a new perspective, door opening. And sometimes you got to fight. If it's worth it to you, then it's worth it. And then you put your energy into it. But if it's not, right, if it's just like, you're not worth my energy, pull that back and approach it in a different way that makes you empowered to the situation. All right. Why is this? What is this all for? The arrow, which is card 3. All right. The arrow speaks to receiving this symbol reminds you that you are in alignment with your heart and soul. You are on target and will soon be hitting your mark. Be true to your calling, release attachments, and free yourself from the bondage of unbridled ambition. Now is revealed to be a moment of contact in which your intentions meet the material world. The arrow symbolizes the need to set your creativity free. When the arrow zings through the air, it is inviting you to pay attention and signifying that you are about to make your mark in some aspect of your life. It illuminates the moment of contact when you know that your desires and intentions have traveled on the wind and landed in the perfect place for your highest good. Trust that your job is to be relaxed yet focused, keeping your eye on the prize yet releasing your intention with full expectation that it will land as it is supposed to. Do not worry about the how or the exact form. This is not a time to interfere with the manner in which the arrow flies. It will make its mark, and you will have cause to celebrate. That's kind of cool. Like, kind of like you're on the right path with this. It's taking you where you need to go. Maybe it kind of makes me think like applying this door that's opening to your life kind of changes the flow of it and helps you navigate to where you need to be, right? I feel like we tend to invest our energy a lot in things that don't deserve our energy to be invested in them. And by pulling back your energy and only investing it, you know, in things that are worthy of it or that you deem are worth putting the energy towards, you have more energy to move towards this, whatever this is, right? Take you to where you need to be, move towards where you need to go. And maybe that like energetic balance of your energy pulls in more things that are for you, right? If you're being conscious of like, this, it does not have my energy, but this does, right? Then it allows more of that to be pulled in. Okay, I'll feed you more things that you're deeming your energy is worthy of somehow on like an energetic level. All right, the arrow. 8 of bows. Okay, so we have the 8 of bows, the page of vessels, the shaman, and the 10 of bows. So yeah, this makes me think like when you're choosing what to and what not to invest in, it's also like whether this is like community, and not letting your energy be fed into anything that you don't deem worthy, right? So like you're only feeding into things that you're deeming worthy, family, connections, jobs, right? Like whatever it may be, and that strengthens them. It helps them transform and grow. This is a tool that you'll be learning to use to harmonize and move forward on wherever this arrow is trying to take you. It's also allowing you to end the cycle of maybe like feeding your energy into everything and feeling depleted, and really learning the constructs on how to know when and when not to put your energy into it. And that in itself is like a cycle change. It's bringing about new things because you're changing how you're approaching situations and people and life, right? Perspective wise, on like, is this me or is this them? And should I take this personally? Should I not? Right? In addition to, does this deserve my energy? Does it not? And looking at things like that and moving in that energy, right, of understanding. So it leads you to pull in more things because you're very cognizant of when to and when not to invest. Yeah, that's what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed this.